For Action News, I'm Anna Samovska. A recent op-ed by New York columnist and designated hitman for the food industry, Mark Bittman, has us pretty outraged. In his bizarre column titled "Parasites Killing Their Host," he compares the food industry to a parasite slowly killing its customers. He claims any food product the food industry produces has no nutritional value, only an added financial value. And he goes on to blame the food industry for the nation's obesity epidemic. In other words, if you're not a hunter and gatherer and you don't obtain your food from organic sources only, you're eating nothing but junk food. ACTIA's Dr. Gilbert Ross explains why this rant is far from the truth.
Junk food is anything that Mark Bittman says is not as healthy as it can possibly be for the consumer. So by that definition, basically, I believe anything that you can buy in the supermarket that's not in the fresh fruits and vegetable area is junk, according to Mark Bittman. And the food industry is irresponsible. Indeed, they're cynically toxic by selling and trying to enhance the sales of junk food, especially to our children, our precious children. And he points out to the epidemics of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and fatty liver that are being produced by the toxic junk food that the big food industry is foisting upon our unsuspecting populace. There's only a few things wrong with his mantra here. Cardiovascular disease is actually going down and has been going down for some decades. Our life expectancy in this country, as well as in the Western world, continues to go up. The graph of our life expectancy or longevity is a straight line up. We're not being killed off. He goes so far as to say that the food industry, and you should be aware of this, the food industry does not work in the public interest. It works for its own corporate benefits. So what I believe that he's trying to say is that the food industry should become an arm of the public health officials, that the federal government should take over the food industry so that the food that can be made and sold to the public would be in the best interest of public health at all times. And who would decide this? Well, I believe that a panel made up of Mark Bittman, Dr. Marion Nessel of NYU, and a couple of other experts that Mark Bittman would choose would decide which foods are healthy for us and which foods don't make the grade because they're junk. Anything, of course, that's not healthy for us is junk. And he also campaigns for justice for food workers and humane treatment of animals, all in the same column. These are goals, I guess, that we can aspire to, but his whole point about the big food industry is selling us poison. Their cynical devotion to profits over public health is killing the population, and then soon they'll realize that they're killing their customers and they'll change their ways somehow. None of it is true. It's just a rant based upon his own feverish brain, and why the Times gives him leeway to go on and prattle on about this, I don't understand it. There's certainly far more relevant, cogent, and important topics that can be addressed in the precious space that they devote to this loony. As far as I'm concerned, he's just a loony.
To read more on this story and others, you can head to our website, actia.org. That's acsh.org. And while you're there, don't forget to also sign up for your daily dose of news delivered right to your inbox. For Actia, I'm Anna Samovska.